Nevada King announced a blind discovery, and a lot of people looked at the map and they said, that looks right next to where they've been drilling. Not quite, okay? Look, this is on the south side of the Atlanta resource area, and it basically says, there's a lot of runway. There's a lot of room to the south that you could hide a lot of ounces, okay? But first of all, just to point out, again, this is a very good intercept, 1.89 gram over 114 meters. Again, it's in that top, the weak table that I showed you earlier. Very, very impressive drill hole. Let's go to the next slide, and I'll show you where it's at. Okay, the maps that Nevada King puts out are always quite detailed, and you kind of have to fish around to see where things are at. I put a red arrow over there on the left to show you where this drill hole is situated, and it is on the south side of the resource area. Now, the topography does go up to the south. So in other words, the ground is rising up, the elevation of the surface is rising up in that area. And in this area, there's simply been a lack of exploration because of that, okay? But these guys managed to get a hole down, and you can see where it is in cross-section over here. And they hit this whopping big intercept that says there's a lot of gold mineralization. See the cross-section on the right. There's a lot of gold mineralization towards the left-hand side of that cross-section. In fact, it's wide open. Okay, so you could easily hide another 1 million or 2 ounces working your way southward from here in this kind of material, in this, nearly 2 gram material. Can you hide 30 million tons in there? Yeah, easy. Okay, especially at those kind of thicknesses, 114 meters, I believe, more or less true width. You can hide a bunch of gold. And yeah, the strip's going to be higher in there, but it's going to be a progressive strip, guys. In other words, you're going to mine this thing starting on the right-hand side with the low strip, and then it's gradually going to get bigger and bigger, but it's not going to blow out, because by the time you get to mining in the left-hand side of that cross-section, you will have removed all of that rock over there on the right-hand side. In other words, it's not as bad as it looks. It's not like you have to, dig down through everything from day one to get to that. Okay, you're going to do it progressively, and it's going to be a very reasonable strip ratio. So this is a great discovery. It shows there's a lot of upside potential here. Once again, I hope to see them start going southward in a big way, and hopefully see this deposit just blossom out again. I think this thing could be 3, 4, 5 million ounces quickly, with a little bit of exploration.